Hey guys, welcome to Where the Road Gets Real. My name's Chris Toon, I'm going to be your host. We're going to go pick up a local expert and we're going to drive all around Southeast Idaho. We're going to talk about some of the things that matter, some of the things that don't, and literally everything in between. So buckle up and let's go for a ride. Today's going to be special. It is the first actual real show, so I'm super excited about it, and I'm even more excited about my first guest. He's been a mentor of mine, just fantastic father, husband, role model, outdoorsman. I'm talking about no other than Brayden Buxton. Fantastic dude, and I'm so stoked to have him on the first show. So let's go pick him up. Brayden, what's happening, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Well, enjoying this crazy weather we've had.
Finally, a touch of winter.
Yeah, it finally got cold. It's been weird for everyone here in Idaho to see us not see as much snow, but
I thought I was going to mow my lawn the other day.
I know, my grass was greening up. So I thought I was going to have to pull out the mower as well. So
I was about ready to take the clubs back out and hop the fence and go play some golf.
Yeah. I mean, we probably still could.
Right? So. Right? A little hard to find the fall today, but, you know. So what's new with you, man? How was the holidays?
Holidays were great. So we're always a little busy during the holidays. We don't necessarily stop working during the holidays. That's when a lot of people are finally available to go see houses and talk real estate, and we try to stay available as much as we can anyways. But
that's awesome.
It was busy, but it was really good. Had some great family time. We had a really good Christmas and just time together.
Totally crazy not having a white Christmas. You know, like we relocated about like 4 years ago, and I think this was our first Christmas where it wasn't white. And
right.
it was so mind blowing looking out the back door and be like, where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, I remember. So I grew up on a ranch in Driggs, Idaho.
Okay.
And I remember as a kid, like in the winters, remembering like 6, 7, 8 feet of snow. We would shovel snow away from our windows. And like, I feel like year after year, like winters have gotten lighter in a lot of ways. But yeah, definitely interesting.
Where I grew up, we put on huge snow jackets when it hit 50. So a little different. But so let's get into the real estate side of stuff, right? So I mean, like, I think there's a misconception or like a misunderstanding of what all like agents do or don't do or something. I feel like some people think that we do everything, and then there's other people that say we do absolutely nothing. We just sit there and collect a paycheck.
Yes.
What's your take on it?
So, great point. Most buyers and even sellers, they have a hard time understanding what a realtor does. And at the end of the day, like something I like to explain is real estate is stressful, right? Everyone knows that real estate is stressful, and it's stressful because there's so many different systems and processes and people involved.
Oh, for sure.
And knowing that next step is what scares everyone, right? They don't know what that next step looks like.
They don't know the system in place to kind of take the next step to
exactly
get everything done properly.
So most of what a realtor does or should do, in my opinion, is help people understand those systems and next steps in doing that, so that they don't get lost, so they don't make a big mistake.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people try and cut out realtors, and then they end up bringing them back in,
right?
Because it's a stressful process, and there's a lot of moving parts.
Well, they say, like, what's that statistic I saw? Right, people don't hire realtors to come in and help them in hopes of saving money, right? And they're ending up losing 20% or more of the value of their home because they don't either price it right, know the market, uh, follow the right way to do things with inspection, negotiations. There's a lot
Contracts, yeah.
of stuff behind the scenes. So, uh, yeah, man, it's been wild. I mean, when I was, not to date myself, way back in the day, when I was 18, 19, I worked for a title. Um, and so I kind of had a taste of it, and I went off and I've had a plethora of careers. Um, I was a chef on a train. I then became the conductor.
No way.
Yeah, dude. I worked on an ambulance for like 4 or 5 years.
That's cool.
I've owned and operated a wood shop. Uh, so I've kind of been all around, and then I circled back and got into real estate when we moved up here. Uh, I think this is our fourth house that we've purchased and sold, and well, now our fifth. But yeah, there was just some things where I was like, I wanted to see behind the scenes, and then when I got into it, it was so almost shocking to be like, holy cow, there is like a army of people and things that need to happen in order for it to go smoothly. And let's be real, it doesn't go smoothly all the time.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I guess that's one thing that I learned early on in my real estate career. So I've been doing real estate over a decade now.
okay,
I actually started in the Salt Lake market. So I started in Utah in a really competitive market. And one thing I learned early on is I kind of expected everyone else involved in each real estate transaction that they would do their job in a timely manner.
right. Yeah,
And or do their job at
expectations.
all.
Yes,
Yes. So
managing
that's
expectations.
exactly. That's one thing like today, like I don't ever expect anyone to do their job
Right.
necessarily until I've worked with them. And even then, like I constantly check in. And that's one thing that buyers and sellers that gives realtors a bad name is like communication is key.
Absolutely.
And if they don't know what's going on, that's what makes it so scary, uncertainty.
Oh yeah. I mean, education is key. I mean, it's education in terms of everything, right? Like, I mean, I don't care personally when we change our mind like 5 times and we're looking at different houses, or we change up the neighborhoods, and it's a huge decision. Like it's like the biggest purchase you make, right? And
Right, yeah,
it's a huge
huge
decision.
investment.
And like people, sometimes look at it and just like a paycheck, and it affects more than that, right? And
Yes,
so
and there's some big mistakes you can make if you
absolutely.
don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what the next step is, if you don't get an inspection done.
That's a big one.
Right, yeah, and I mean there's some big mistakes that can be made, and that's why it is so stressful. Is there's so many moving parts, and if you don't understand them as you're going through them, things can get pretty messy.
Okay, so I hear this from time to time. Oh, it's a brand new build. We don't need to get an inspection.
Yes. I always tell people like whether it's a new build or not, I always recommend an inspection. A lot of builders, I don't want to say that they cut corners,
Right.
but there's always things that can be. Here's this for an example. I had a new build inspection done one time for some clients, brand new house, really, we're above the 600,000 range.
Okay.
So really nice house. We're over 3,000 square feet. And the furnace came back. Um, it wasn't working properly because they installed the furnace and then they came in and did all the drywall and the sanding and everything, and it filled the furnace.
Oh.
And they ended up having to replace that furnace because it was so bad.
Right. And had you
Um,
not done it, you wouldn't have found that out until they
exactly.
moved in and
It's a brand new furnace, so
right,
but yeah, because it was installed at the wrong time and wasn't protected, like that was a big issue, and that's a costly issue.
right. Roofs. I mean, holy cow. There's a lot of things that go into it. And
Yeah,
yeah, they do get inspected, but it's to do your own due diligence is, priceless, honestly. It could save you
yeah,
so much in the long run.
right.
But go more into about the inspections and stuff.
Yeah, sure. So inspections get confusing because a lot of people under in their minds, an inspector, regular home inspector is the appraiser.
Oh,
The home inspector
yes.
and the appraiser are
Dude,
totally different.
absolutely
So the
different.
home inspector is there to just find any flaws, anything, any nicks and issues that they see. They're just supposed to call it out
Right,
so that and you have a chance to look all of those items over. It's not a pass or fail inspection. It's for your knowledge
right.
so that you know what you're getting into and
Yeah,
and of course you can negotiate from that point, but it's not a pass or fail.
right. And that's one of the things too. I love. I don't know uh, that I've seen with the guy who I use, but it's yellow and red flags, right? There's stuff that like, hey, this needs immediate attention, and there's stuff that like, hey, like this is stuff you're gonna worry about the next like 3-5 years plus,
Sure.
just to kind of keep an eye out on it. But it gives you a suggestion sometimes. Like it doesn't mean you have to go back to the to the seller and be like, you need to change
All of it.
everything. Like somebody said it the other day, but it's just I think people think that they're buying like a museum sometimes and they want like everything perfect. And it's like, well, you're buying like the house. You're buying a home that has been lived in and you're going to change the paint colors the way you want to change the paint colors. Like they shouldn't there's cosmetic stuff, right? And then
Yeah.
there's actual like functionality, like
And I think that's a
safety
great
issues.
point. That's one of the big misconceptions of buying real estate is a lot of buyers expect that every inspection item has to be taken care of by the seller. It
Oh,
doesn't. They have to agree to it.
right.
And that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. Um, so yeah, there's just so many different moving parts to try and understand and to understand like what is a pass fail and what isn't.
Well, one of the things that I think surprised I had a couple first time home buyers a month or so ago, and they were surprised to learn that there's like different stages where like you can like step away and say no, that doesn't work for me, right? Like so there's the first offer and you go back and forth and you say, hey, this is what we'll give you for that piece of property, that land, that house.
Yeah.
And the seller has the opportunity to come back and counter and say, yeah, okay, we'll accept that, or no, we won't, or hey, you have to come up here and meet us here. And that's your first one, right? Now you have a time frame to get an inspection done, do your due diligence on it. So then you get the inspection. Now that's your second chance to kind of look at it and be like, do we really want to take that? Do we really want to? And then you're back at the bargaining table, right?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people who try to sell on their own, they miss that step. Like they
Yeah.
either don't do the inspection, or if they do, they don't know what they can't ask for, what they should or shouldn't. Uh, and
Yeah, and
then
it comes down to like that's why real estate is so scary. Because there's so many moving parts and there's so many things to understand.
right,
And if you don't have someone that is guiding you through that process, helping you understand,
hmm
there's been so many times throughout my real estate career where on the other side, a seller, I have a buyer that ends up backing out of the deal because it didn't make sense for them
hmm
and they got to keep their earnest money.
right,
The sellers were frustrated that they didn't get to keep that earnest money because their agent didn't explain that to them.
how it works.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so how do you explain it to them?
So as far as when you go under contract on a property, you have an inspection period.
Okay.
Or due diligence. During that due diligence period, a buyer can back out for any reason at all. And even after that, if a buyer is contingent on their financing, they could still back out and keep their earnest money, depending on what is worked into the contract, of course.
Right.
But yeah, even up until like right before closing, a buyer could technically back out of the deal if they're contingent on financing and keep their earnest money, and the sellers could get nothing
So
but
how would
lost
you
time on the market.
how do you explain, and I had a hard time when I first started, but how do you explain to people what like earnest money is?
Yes, so earnest money, the way I like to explain it is it's a deposit
Okay.
that goes towards your down payment. So that earnest money is basically your skin in the game. Once you go under contract, it gets deposited with usually a title company or a brokerage.
So you don't take it, right? Like we're not taking the check and holding it. And
Exactly. Yes.
I had
Yeah.
somebody ask me that. I was like, "Do you know how much time we spent in class going over like how bad that is?" So yeah, no, we don't
Right.
do that.
Yeah. So that earnest money, for example, $1,000, $5,000, whatever it might be, would get deposited with a title company or a brokerage trust account.
Okay.
And it would be held there. And at closing, that earnest money goes towards your down payment.
Oh,
So if you, for example, if you had a $10,000 down payment and your earnest money was $1,000,
sure,
at closing, you'd come in with the additional 9,000, if that makes
gotcha.
sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the hardest part, like try to wrap my mind around like all the different things, right? Like, so, I mean, you just mentioned right now there's title, there's escrow, there's inspections, there's agents, there's brokerages, I mean, I thought we were just dealing with like agents and buyers and sellers,
Right.
right? And so there's so many moving parts that once you hand it off, like you're really kind of depending on like the other person to do their job.
And that's another thing. Like you even posted something yesterday on your socials
Hmm.
about like basically no question is a dumb question. Like it's okay to ask questions.
I ask all the dumb questions
Me too.
all the time, all the time.
I've been doing real estate for over a decade and I still feel like a new agent in this business every day.
Right?
There's something new to learn always, and there's every transaction is different. Every buyer, every seller is different, every property. And so that's one thing that like questions are okay. It's okay to ask what you think might be a dumb question
Hmm.
because it's a big investment or a big
Oh,
deal for
huge.
people to tie up
It's huge.
real estate. And that's as far as like all the systems and the people involved. I really like to explain that to people because once they understand that, the process is so much smoother.
So before you became an agent yourself, like hey, I'm guessing you guys purchased a house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, is that what kind of led you into like how you do what you do now? Like, like I know for me, there was a couple transactions early on, that it was like, hold on a second, like I had no idea what was going on,
Right.
and I mean that's where we're signing over, and I don't know, like where we moved from, where you relocated from, like you had to sign a freaking book, and it's just like, what are we doing? Like we're sitting there for 30 minutes signing, and like nobody was really saying anything. Like it was just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, okay, this kind of means this, and so I think we both kind of take that approach of sharing and kind of walking somebody through it, and
Right.
like,
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. The first home I ever bought was in Williston, North Dakota,
okay,
while I was in the oil field um, up there for many years. And I had no idea what I was doing. Nobody explained anything to me. And I felt like I was expected to just sign,
right,
right? And so with my own dealings in real estate and then getting into the real estate industry, like a lot of how I do business now is seeing so many red flags in other areas and dealing with other real estate professionals that aren't necessarily that professional in ways, and that's how I've tweaked my business, because I want to make sure that people feel comfortable about their decisions and they understand what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, that's
And I
perfect.
would too. That's
Right.
what I wanted.
I was just telling you earlier, I was like, you know what, dude, it's like Ted Lasso. It's like never the wrong time to do the right thing. There's
Yes,
been multiple times where it's like, well, it'd be so much easier if we just did this. And then
right.
nobody would know, but I would know, that's the thing. Like I would
Yeah.
personally know. And that's just not, that's why, I mean, I think
And that says a lot about you.
and you too, man. That's why, I enjoy working with you and kind of being a part of your team and doing stuff. It's just, you find your people. Holy cow, look at that view today.
Oh, it's awesome. Clear skies.
Holy cow.
This is such a beautiful area up here on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a Black Hawk Estates. There's only, I think, one or two houses up right now in this neighborhood. It's super pretty.
Yeah, beautiful area.
Yeah, I'm just
Nice big lots.
huge. Yeah, I think the one that I know of has like 2 acres on it, and it opens up like gorgeous sunsets, and they have the coolest. I don't know. Did you bring the kids by for the Christmas lights?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
We didn't make it.
dude, there's one. I mean, a lot of these guys like this one knows
Yeah,
over
these guys
here.
still have their lights up.
But there's one down the road here, and I think they're one of the top ones that like they have their whole like parade of lights going on, and they have a full show. Like it hooks up to the radio, and they actually direct traffic around.
No way.
It's awesome, dude. But even then, like even with directing traffic, like around here, it's crazy because I came from a town. What are we sitting at? Like 160, 170,000 people, and like I come from a town that I mean Southern California, so like it would take you an hour to go 20 miles.
Ugh,
So like going to the DMV, like you literally had to have an appointment to go to the
hours.
DMV, and you'd still wait 3 hours to get it.
Wow.
And so like, I was so amazed when I first moved here that like it was literally walk in, take your test, and then go to the next window. And it was just, oh, okay, that was easy. Or the post office. And
Yeah.
when we first moved, we moved to Groveland and loved that town. That was awesome, beautiful there.
Quiet country.
Yeah. And we ended up moving up here, and I mean, honestly, because of real estate, I was going and doing some social media for one of the properties and fell in love. And I was like, holy cow, me, like, how do you not love this? Like,
Right.
it's gorgeous out here. So, um,
We really are blessed to be in this area. Like I I grew up in Teton Valley.
okay.
So I grew up 5 a.m. every summer. I was out moving pipe, moving hand pipe, irrigation pipe,
Okay.
and looking up at the Tetons, elk in the backfield. And it's so easy when you've grown up here to take it for granted. But that's one thing, like you can live in so many other areas and not like from here, you can take an hour drive and
Oh,
be in Island Park, Teton Valley. You
so a
can
little bit
be
further in
on the
West
river.
Yellowstone and like fly fishing. And oh my goodness, like
Yeah,
it is. I mean, I remember it would be so for us in California, like we were like 45 minutes away from the beach and like an hour and some change away from like the closest mountain, but like everybody in the world went there. So you would want to go to Mammoth, but like that was a 6 hour drive.
oh,
And so just one way. And I remember doing a fishing trip with one of my buddies, man. Like he got off, the firefighter, he got off at like 2 or 3, I don't know, something in the morning, comes over to my house. I think we left at like 4:30 in the morning, drove all the way out there, hit a local fishing spot that we love to go to, grabbed a sandwich and some coffee, and turned around, came back. It was like the longest day ever because we both had to work like the
oh
next
man,
day. So, it
we're
just,
spoiled here.
yeah, it's
We
just,
really are.
I mean, I keep my stuff ready in the garage, right? Like it's just like, okay, take it. If it's not in like during the wintertime, it's in the garage. But then during the summer, spring, as soon as spring comes, man, as soon as it starts melting, it's like in the back of my truck, and it's like
Yeah,
we
ready
got
to
10
go.
minutes, let's go.
Yeah, and sometimes I like get in my head a little bit about like going hunting or fishing, and I'm like, oh man, that's an hour drive, and but that's really not that long of a drive
Right.
to get into the outdoors right from
Oh, it's
a
like in our
bigger
back
city here.
door.
Yeah.
It's our back door. And, I think another misconception when I first moved here was like an hour's drive is actually like an hour's drive. It's not an hour of sitting bumper to bumper. It's literally an hour of doing 80. It's
Right.
like, oh, we're there. Okay, cool. And I mean, that was the other thing that kind of surprised me too is like we have a, what is it? Not AAA, but the hockey league here in town, right? So we can go see hockey
Oh, the
games.
Spud Kings.
Yeah, Spud Kings. And so like we can go see like hockey games. We have concerts all the time. I mean, like we're gonna go see like Goo Goo Dolls this year, and like we saw last year, we took the boys to go see Weird Al.
Yeah.
Like we've had monster trucks do their stuff,
The
enduro
MMA
crosses. Oh,
fights.
dude,
We
yeah.
love going to the MMA fights.
And so, and then we get big names here, right? But then there's also like what 2.5 hours away is Salt Lake City. Three and
Yeah.
a half, 4 hours is Boise. So
Yeah.
like you have these huge hubs. I mean, we have
Yeah.
a
We
airport
got
here.
Jackson Hole, which is a
Oh yeah, I forgot
massive
about Jackson
tourist
Hole.
location.
Great thing.
That's maybe a 2 hour drive from here. Yeah, Island Park, West Yellowstone. I mean, we have so many.
What was that pizza place you were telling about?
Oh, and in Drake's.
I think so. Because I was talking. Um, there's one in Jackson, and they make like homemade elk sausage,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's just oh, amazing.
there's some great restaurants in Jackson.
We legit like drive just an hour and a half just to go get pizza and pasta, like at least twice a year.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, and there's that's another. We've got so many great communities here in Southeast Idaho.
right.
That we can pop into for different things. And I guess to tie it back into real estate too, like each one of those communities is its own separate market as well. And that's also another misconception for a lot of people, and even agents think that our real estate market is the same from Idaho Falls to St. Anthony.
Oh,
Or Idaho Falls to Teton Valley. Like those are separate markets, separate things going on and happening in those markets. And it's so valuable to understand that.
I
And
mean,
to
perspective. I mean, that's like a couple 100 miles.
yeah,
I mean, that's not just up the road.
yeah,
It's you're making a little bit of a trek. No matter it doesn't take you that long to get there, but it's still like,
yeah.
you're not in the same. Yeah. So like when you're doing like a quote for somebody to see, like when they come to you as a seller and say, hey, we're looking to sell, what can we get for our house?
Yeah.
Like how far out do you look to like get that idea for the comparables?
Good question. So you always start small, of course. So you if you're inside the city limits, you would kind of search within that city depending on how big the city is. When I was doing real estate in Salt Lake area, like you had to do it per mile
Okay.
because those are bigger cities.
Right.
Here in Idaho Falls, an appraiser would use a comparable property within Idaho Falls.
Right.
And so you can kind of search that whole city.
So it's like a half mile, 2 mile like ring around it, right? So
Yep.
you're not looking at like if you're looking at a home, like we were just looking at Black Hawk Estates, like in Ammon or Idaho Falls, Ammon area, right? You're not going to look at the west side to,
Exactly.
give a
Yeah.
quote
And
for.
and every property is so different. If you're looking at a more unique property or a property with a 3-car garage and HOA in a more secluded community, you want to look within that community.
Right.
Of course, because not every house in Idaho Falls is going to match. So every property is different. But you always start small and then work your way out from there.
Now, do you like? I know for me, I start out like the age. Once I find how far out I'm going, I start by like the age of the home, like all the similarities, right? So you're looking at like what year the age was built, because I'm not gonna price it against a 1974 home that was built in 2020, or
Yeah,
something down the line. Like it's not the same,
right.
right?
Yeah, you're gonna want to compare it to, and this is what an appraiser does too. We're not appraisers. We we look at value in the same way.
Right,
Um, but we're gonna look at square footage. We're gonna look at the year built. We're gonna look at acreage size. Um, what type of home it is, if it's a ranch rambler or a 2-story.
right.
Um, to be able to compare it with the right type of properties there.
So basically, I mean, like we're going through and we're looking and we're giving the best estimate of what that property's worth, given the comparables around it, right? And then after you've done the inspections and everything, and you go to the next step, and then the appraiser, they're hired by the bank, right? They're from
Correct.
the bank, so it's basically the bank's insurance policy that that home is actually worth what we're saying it's worth,
Yeah,
right? So they're kind of checking your answer, right?
exactly.
So we all kind of have to be on our game, and we can't just slap like, well, I've had some emotional buyers or sellers, and which I'm sure everybody has,
Yes,
but like,
quite often.
yes, I know you would like to get this, and trust me, like, as another thing I've realized in this industry is like one of the very few industries that I can pull out of the top of my head that like we do all of our work up front with no pay. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's
So
an investment for us every time.
every stinking time. I mean, to getting the photos done, to, I mean, everything we do for marketing and the time we spend, like, we don't get paid until your house closes.
Yeah, and a
And,
lot of times that could mean be as low as fuel costs, here and there,
right.
all the way up to, like you mentioned, photography, surveying. I mean, there's been times where I've invested into clients
Mhm.
thousands of dollars before I ever got paid,
Right.
and sometimes I never got paid. It was
It
a loss.
happens. It happens. And it's, in, I think that's what kind of keeps our skin in the game too. Like it's our best interest to get our clients the best they can, but it doesn't do any benefit to either one of us to like label your home. Like, cause if, okay, you want $1 million for your home, but it's really sitting at like 700, like, and then it's going to get appraised, and then now you're going to go back to the buyer and they're going to be like, well, never mind, dude, like we can't get that. I'm not going to come up with
Yeah,
like the extra money to cover what you want for it. So
and that's always a headache for sellers and everyone involved. If a home or a property is priced wrong, um, even when an agent has maybe told the seller like, "Hey, I think you should probably list at $700,000." That's
right,
what the market and comps and data is showing us.
right,
And they're like, "Oh well, we want to list at 1 million regardless." Explaining like what that
like,
might do is important.
right,
And if they still decide to list at that price point, that's always a decision we kind of have to make too. Is like,
back
okay,
up.
there's some deer out there in that field.
Oh heck yeah.
See them playing around.
Yeah, I love when they come down out of the hills.
That's
uh
so cool that we live in a place where we can just drive through town and look over in a field and see deer running around.
I went to the transfer station the other day and I was on my way home. There's a big old moose on the hill. I was like,
Yeah,
oh hey, what's up, buddy?
I saw a Instagram video the other day. It was like a meme or whatever you call it, and there's a guy like tied up in the back seat, and it's like when you see a deer and you have to like tell someone and his mouth is taped and he's like, deer.
Dude, it's like me and the stinking cows, bro. Like, every time you see, can you drive by a cow without going cow?
Yeah,
Like
or
it just,
mooing.
yeah.
I always have to roll my window down for my boys and start mooing at them, see if we can get them to talk.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
There's this one house up here, dude, that has like a boat in front of it. It is crazy. I love that one. Uh, yeah, man. So I think like with pricing, it's really trying to figure out. That's why we don't give you like it needs to be like this exact stuff. Like we'll give you like, hey, and it's not a personal thing to us. It's very much what the market is telling us. The market is saying this, and something I had to learn to adjust with too is that depending on how long your home is on the market can also fluctuate, right? So
Yeah.
we have to continually go back and look and see, like, hey, like the market's not saying this price anymore. Like we're
Yeah.
really looking down
We've been
here,
seeing some changes. Average days on market are always moving.
right?
And knowing that and being able to share that information with sellers is so important for them to be able to be productive.
Right.
Obviously, anyone that lists their home on the market wants to be productive. They want their property to sell. That's why they've made that decision.
They want to sell
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, and our job is to make sure that they understand the best way to do that. And one thing that is also a misconception is a lot of people, even if you list a property at $1 million and it only appraises at $700,000, and you have a buyer willing to pay 1 million, but they're financing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they can purchase that home with financing because it doesn't appraise at that value. And that's why the appraisal comes in. So there's a lot of things to look at and understand throughout the process.
Right.
And once a seller understands, like, hey, if most buyers are financing their home and the home is only going to appraise at this value, we should probably stay pretty close to that.
Right. It helps. Like, I mean, like what you're saying, like when we're picking a price to kind of like present to the seller, we kind of also do that for the buyer and say, hey, like we look at the comps around and like this is really what we're looking at.
Yes.
Right. And so, and then from there, we can go back and forth and be like, well, we can maybe go here and there, but it's our job to represent both the buyer and the seller, whoever we're representing, to the best of our ability. Right. And
Yeah.
that's really figuring out, like, is this home worth that to them?
It's like buying a car and you see a car on Facebook Marketplace and
Little
you're
risky.
wondering if the value is there, right?
Yeah.
So you blue book it. You want to check and make sure that the value makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So do buyers
Right.
in the real estate market, and their agents should be telling them whether it's a good deal or not, whether the value is there or not.
Right. And you take it to the mechanic and you get the inspection.
Exactly.
Right. So, I
Yep.
mean, it's about knowing your options and it's about knowing like what the value of things are.
Doing your due diligence to make sure that it's a good decision before you actually sign those closing docs.
Yeah, man. It's a big step, dude. I mean, it's so cool to be a part of that process, though.
It is.
Like it's really cool to be a part of your own, but then to like watch somebody else get like the keys, especially like first time home buyers. I mean, like it's crazy, like just to see like somebody like the pride and ownership.
It's really rewarding
Yeah.
for sure to see. We've all had so many clients that were first time home buyers and they've worked so hard to finally buy a piece of real estate and buy their own home. And
Get a
a
piece of
lot of
heaven, man. Like
yeah,
just
and there's so many hoops to jump through to
Yep.
get to that point. And once you're finally at the closing table and it all makes sense for them, we've done all of our due diligence, and to see that they feel good about their decision and the excitement is
right.
priceless.
Absolutely. Well, we're rounding up our last stop sign here. But thanks for coming on, dude.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I was excited. little
a little
little
apprehensive.
nerve-wracking
Yeah, I get you.
to get in front of the camera, of course. But
They're
you
our
made this easy.
friends. They're our friends,
Exactly,
man.
exactly. And you made it easy because we're being real. That's what it's all about. And that's why you and me align and connect is like I know that you're a very genuine person,
Yeah,
and I
I
appreciate
appreciate
that.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, dude. So, well, I mean, if we could leave you with one thing, you absolutely do not need an agent to sell or buy a home. But if you want to do it right and you want to do it well, I'd suggest you get somebody who's in the industry, who knows how to do it, that can frankly hold your hand through the whole thing and guide you and get you to that finish
Ask the
line.
questions.
Like it just, it's not just a paycheck. It's literally like you could lose what you're looking for if you're not doing the right thing. Right. So,
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't be afraid to say you don't understand. That real estate, all the real estate professionals involved, like it's their job to make sure you understand what you're doing. And I
dude,
guess that,
I'll be
yeah,
like the first one to tell you that, like, if I don't know, I mean, I've done this, like, I mean, at least once a day, be like, hey, hold on, I don't know that. Let me go ask.
right.
No, most of the time I'm asking you. I'm like, bro.
And then and then I'm asking someone else. So
But it's awesome to have such the camaraderie around here. And like, I appreciate you and all you do, man. And, well, you're going to be a regular on the show. So hopefully you're cool with that. But,
sure, absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
all right, guys, until the next ride, we'll catch you next time.
See ya.